Welcome back to part 2 of my indie game radar for Steam Next Fest. I know this one is a little bit late, but I had to play a lot of the games I was talking about on the back half and try to get everything in a timely manner. But I will say some of the demos that I did have pegged down, I did not have a chance to play because the demos were over or the game actually did release. So some of the footage you may see may be trailers as well as I did for part 1. If you haven't seen part 1 of my Steam Next Fest video, check that out as well. That'll be in the description below or at the end of this video, or even like in the top thing up there. I think it's right up here as well. But yeah, this is part 2. Got 5 different categories of 3 different games each, so another 15 games I want to talk about during this Steam Next Fest season. Some of the demos are still up, so you can check that out. But hey, let's get right into it. The first section I'm going to talk about is the shooter section. I got a few games I talked about. The first game is Scraps of the Machine. It's FPS mech action. Pilot a massive steel through a single player campaign set in a desolate landscape. Target enemy armor or weapons to wear them down piece by piece. Find upgrades to improve your mech or change its loadout, and survive in a world of rust and decay. Discover, destroy, and scavenge. This is essentially what the entire game is. The demo is exactly that, where you are cobbling together different types of weapons and ammos and armors to make the best mech possible. And I love a good mech game, and I love the fact that this is an FPS mech where you're inside the cockpit of a mech and you're piloting it using like lasers or machine guns or cannons or pile bunkers, and just destroying the enemies and then taking some upgrades back into building the best mech possible. Yeah, very fun demo. I love this. There's no release date for Scraps of Metal as of right now, but it's set to come out sometime in 2026. The demo is available if you want to play the demo for Scraps of Metal. Very fun. Check it out. Impulse is a fast-paced 6v6 movement shooter. Wall run, grapple, hollow jump, pilot mechs, and PAINT your way through free holds of vertical streets, outmove your opponent, and get outgunned. This game actually came out on June the 24th. I didn't get a chance to play the demo, but it is right now out in early access. It's doing pretty well with about 1,374 reviews at the moment. So yeah, game is doing pretty well. I think it's scratching the Titanfall itch because you have the ability to wall run and jump as a soldier, but then you also have the ability to jump into a mech. So if you are a fan of Titanfall, you've been waiting for Titanfall for a long time, but that Titanfall sequel or the third Titanfall is never going to come, you can check out Impulse. So it's actually not that expensive. It's actually $20 right now on Steam, and again, it's sitting in early access. And the reason why they're doing early access is says we are launching Impulse in early access because the best version of this game is one we build alongside our players. Early access route lets us put the game in your hands now, listen to what is working and what is not, and the ship changes based on the feedback we hear. We intend to make updates that are shaped by the player feedback and request rather than a seasonal calendar. New modes, new maps, new weapons, mech expansions, alternate playstyles, and ideas from the community are all on the table. We are trying to make a really fun movement shooter for people who love the genre as much as we do, and shape it together with you over time. If you want to help see this game grow, check out Impulse. Very fun looking game. Again, scratches that Titanfall itch. Check out Impulse. It looks really fun. And the last game I checked out on the shooter genre is Washington Prime. Step in the shoes of a former special agent turned real estate agent, Blake Kincaid, dragged back into the game to save a friend. Fight your way through office buildings in downtown Washington, D.C., October 1988, and uncover what happened over the course of one long night. This reminds me so much of Die Hard. This is probably kind of that. The trailer is actually really funny because it has some of like some real world elements. It's very cheesy, very campy, very 90s coded in this game, and the gameplay style is like a Doom or like a GoldenEye. It's probably more like GoldenEye than Doom, but it has that very Doom-esque quality where it's an FPS and you're just mowing down different enemies, collecting various power-ups, collecting power armor, and just going through different rooms. You have a multiple different weapons like shotguns and pistols and machine guns, and you're trying to get certain keys to open up certain doors. So yeah, very old school FPS coded, very fun game. This game actually has no announcement whatsoever, no announcement date, but the demo is available if you want to play it. Check out Washington Prime if you're looking for something a little bit cheesy, a little bit campy, but also really fun gameplay as well. That's Washington Prime. Moving over into the fighting slash beat 'em up genre, we got a game called Hyper Fist, which actually just came out on July the 10th. And Hyper Hyper Fist is a fast-paced comic-style first-person melee action game focused on punching, grabbing, and other hand-to-hand combat. Play as Health, the local punk, and use your Mecha Fist to punch the robotic enemies in a fast, fluid combat system. This is essentially a character action game, but in first person, which is awesome because you just have your two giant mech arms and you're punching, you're doing air combos, you're grabbing, you're throwing enemies against the wall. The demo itself was actually not even that long, and the game released, it's actually free. So this is a free game that you can play right now. If you're interested in a free game, this is definitely one to pick up because this is so stylized. I love the comic book art style and just beating down enemies with your Mecha Fist. So you can charge in your fist to go up in the air, do air combos, and slam them back down. And I love it. I'm a big fan of character action games like a Bayonetta or a DMC, and the fact that they're taking this in an FPS style is very, very fun. I enjoyed the heck out of Hyper Fist. The demo itself was fun, and I can't wait to play the full release, which I did pick up because it is free, but at some point I will play the full release. But check it out for yourself if you want to play Hyper Fist. Next up is Polyfighter, which is a single player roguelike fighting game. Learn new moves from every opponent you defeat to build your fighter's unique style. Batter through tense retro arcade duels with a choice of simple or motion inputs to master your moveset and claim your title. I am not someone who plays a lot of fighting games. I'm actually pretty bad at fighting games, but I grew up playing a lot of fighting games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Tekken and all the different fighting games that you know and love. But the roguelike element in this game actually really spoke to me. So you choose a number of different fighters and you're just ascending the different ladders and you're collecting abilities along the way, like a grab or maybe a special ability or maybe a super, just by fighting various enemies. And I think the ability to have simple and also motion-based controls makes this a lot more accessible for people who are not too familiar with the fighting game genre, or you are one of those people that just can't do the motion inputs as well as you can. But with this game, you can actually make it pretty simple, and so it definitely harkens back to Street Fighter. There's like a character that has the Ryu style that is doing like a Tatsumaki or a Hadouken. So yeah, there's definitely those type of characters in this game. It's very heavily influenced by Street Fighter, but it has a unique twist on it, being a roguelike, so you can increase your character stats as you ascend the ladder. So yeah, very fun. This game is set to come out sometime in 2026. No actual release date on it, but you can check out the demo for Polyfighter right now. Last game I played in this genre is The Walking Dead Streets of Survival. Fight walkers as Rick Grimes, Daryl Dixon, and Michonne in a brutal arcade brawler set in the world of AMC's The Walking Dead. Face ruthless enemies like the Saviors and overwhelming walker swarms as you unleash ruthless combos, signature weapon attacks, and crushing finishers. I don't know how they got the license for The Walking Dead for this game, because that's a big get. I love The Walking Dead. That was a very fun show to get. It takes me back to the time where I was watching a lot of The Walking Dead weekly with a bunch of friends and just having fun talking about the different theories and all the things that were going on within The Walking Dead. Yeah, it's a very, very fun time. Like the description said, you can play as Rick and Daryl and Michonne. In the demo itself, though, you only have the ability to play as Daryl and then Michonne later. Once you play as Daryl, it looks that you can play as Negan at some point, but I don't know if you'll be able to unlock Negan. Maybe not until the end of the game, but that'll be fun to play as Negan. But yeah, Daryl has his signature crossbow and also the ability to use guns. Michonne has her signature katana, so you can use that as well as other guns as well. You have different pickups and you're just fighting through enemies. So you're fighting through not only human enemies, but also the waves of walkers. Whilst walkers, the human enemies have guns so they can hit you at range, and then the walkers can just overwhelm you and take you out that way. So fun beat 'em up. If you're someone who's into The Walking Dead, if you want to go back to that world, this is definitely one to check out. No release date on it so far, but be on the lookout for it. The demo is available. Check out The Walking Dead Streets of Survival. Moving on into the action adventure genre, which is kind of a nebulous term, by the way, just kind of a side point, but try to find games in that genre. The first game I'm going to be talking about is a Magical Blush, which is a top-down action adventure where fast-paced elemental combat meets Metroidvania style exploration, chain spell combos, exploit elemental weaknesses, rescue survivors in battle, the powerful elemental lords as you explore the wondrous world of Wynn. I love the art of this game. The art is very fluid. I love love the pixel art on this. It's very fun. I love the ability to use all different types of magic, fire, ice, water, lightning, all the different types of elements that you can chain together, solve puzzles, take out enemies, and you just feel very powerful doing it. I always love it when I get the ability to use magic in games. I was someone who always chose a mage whenever I chose like an MMO or any type of RPG. I love the mage archetype or being able to use magic. It is actually set to come out in September of this year, so be on the lookout for that game. I don't know when that's going to come out because there's a bunch of games coming out in September, so I don't know when this one's going to drop. If you want to check this out, the demo is available right now, so you can check it out before it comes out in September of this year. So yeah, Magical Blush looks to be really fun. I'm for sure going to be picking this one up when it drops. A mix of all the things coming out, this is definitely one to watch for September, at least for me, if you're someone who's into these type of games. But yeah, check out Magical Blush. Fading Echo is a fast-paced elemental action adventure RPG where your creativity fuels combat. Manipulate water, trigger chain reactions, and shift through surreal worlds as one, a young legend on a mission to save a dying desertscape from the grip of the paradox corruption. Fun combat, fun premise of this game. The combat is actually really fun. I love the ability to turn into a little blob of water and surf through different types of elements to be able to maybe shoot yourself up in the air by using slime, or to turn yourself into gas by going into lava, and then using those elements against the different enemies to kick them in and maybe make them more broken, or to poison them, or to just make them stunned for a little bit so you get off some attacks. So the world building is actually really interesting. You're essentially just going through this world and solving this corruption. There's a little bit of mystery and magic mixed in with some technology, because the person that you're talking to is basically an AI voice trying to rebuild their connection to this world. So there's a lot of puzzle solving in that as well. So this makes this world a lot more bigger. But I will say don't know if I'm a big fan of the dialogue. I remember John from Gaming in the Wild talking about this, and it kind of reminded him a little bit of Forspoken. I can kind of see that now after playing the demo. It's young millennial Gen Z coded kind of dialogue, so I don't know if I'm really down with the way that the dialogue is in this game. But the combat itself is fun, the exploration is fun, but the dialogue and the kind of the story writing isn't always the best for me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out at some point. It actually does come out on July the 21st, so not too far away from now. So Fading Echo will come out pretty soon. If you are someone who is into these type of games, be aware of that dialogue. If you're not into the dialogue, it is what it is. And if you're fine with that dialogue, it's fine too. So it is just video games. It's not that big of a deal. But check out Fading Echo when it comes out on July 21st. But if you don't want to buy it, if you're going to try before you buy it, demo is available right now for you. So yeah, check out Fading Echo. And the last one in the action adventure genre is called Jin Shattered Legacy, and I am so bummed I did not get to play this demo. I just didn't have the time. But you play as a robot warrior monk set in the distant lands as Jin, a fictional East Asian inspired world desolated by an ancient war. You begin your journey to challenge the masters of Kung Fu, become the new grandmaster of the land, and restore the righteous way of Kung Fu. The reason why I am so bummed that I didn't get to play this game is because the combat looks so much fun. You essentially are using the right stick to control your bow staff to attack the number of different enemies. I love the mixes of hip hop and East Asian style. There's something about hip hop and martial arts that really speaks to me on a visceral level, so I love that so much. I just am so bummed I didn't get to play this, but I can't wait to see what more this game has to offer. The Souls-like martial arts aspects of this game, yeah, it looks really fun. No announcement on this date so far, but yeah, be on the lookout. If you're someone who's into martial arts games, this is one to watch. Hopefully they'll bring back the demo at some point, maybe some sort of play test, or maybe they'll announce it at some point. So yeah, I want to see more of Jin Shattered Legacy, and I hope you do too. Check that out. Now we're moving on to a genre that I usually gravitate to. That's the Metroidvanias. And the first game I want to talk about is Sojourn Past, which is an exploration game, a journey of finding hope in the face of adversity. Set in a handcrafted world, discover its mysteries, overcome its tough bullet hell inspired challenges, and embrace hope in this action adventure. Yeah, that's why I'm saying action adventure and Metroidvania, they kind of go hand in hand sometimes, but this is kind of, it's set in the Metroidvania category, but any of the others, but it is what it is. is. I'm not going to ramble too much on that, but Sojourn Pass is a fun game. I love the art in this game. I think I talked about this maybe a year ago. Essentially, you are on a path of overcoming different challenges and wiping out this darkness, and you are doing a bunch of different challenges through platforming, unlocking doors, unlocking keys. You can actually drop off the platforms as you teleport using your dagger ability, and there's also a bunch of different enemies that are shooting bullets at you. The combat itself is actually pretty tough. You can get overwhelmed pretty quickly. You have to master different movement abilities, like I said, with the dagger that you can throw, you can teleport to, and yeah, there's a little bit of challenge in this exploration and in the movement. This should be expected in a Metroidvania as well, but there's a very large and interconnected world with this game, and the art, like I said, is beautiful and immaculate. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of Sojourn Pass when it drops later this year. I did not get to play this game, but it looked fun, and that's why I put on my wish list. This is Tori Beyond the Gates. The spirit realm has broken, your brother has gone missing. Forge the path where you were destined for. Explore the gates and find out why there has been broken links inside a spirit realm. Battle, discover, and find the secrets and make your new connections in a beautiful hand-drawn 2D art style. And that's why I was drawn to this game, because the art style looks very fun. Some of the features I'll read from the Steam page that says dodge, parry, and dash and slash your way through different enemies and bosses. Classic platformer action in a beautiful 2D hand-drawn art style. Discover new gates, unworlds, all connected by the spiritual gates of the world. Decide your path, make new friends, find the secrets of the spirit realm. Yeah, so set to be a really fun looking Metroidvania. No actual release date on this game so far, but keep an eye on this one if you are looking for another Metroidvania that, if you're into that type of genre, yeah, I want to check out. That's Tori Beyond the Gates. And the last one in the Metroidvania genre that I did actually play the demo for, it actually is up still. It's called Echo Weaver. Time is your greatest resource and secrets are your only upgrades. Master an unraveling time loop in this knowledge-based Metroidvania. As the last Weaver, exploit time-altering anomalies and use what you learn to break the cycle. Explore what remains, uncover the mystery, perfect the loop. Your health bar is actually not really a health bar, it's a time bar. So each time you die, you restart the cycle. So it's not a roguelike per se. You're essentially just in a time loop, puzzle-based Metroidvania, where each run you just have to go discover what happened before and just figure out what is going on in this time bending type of game. You have a bunch of different abilities. The main ability that you get is the ability to throw a glaive that you can then teleport to, and then you can also use that to unlock switches. You can also use that to dive down and to grab from different enemies. You use that to help you defend and attack. There's an unraveling story as you collect different codex that shows you what had happened before you got to where you're at. There's a bunch of different puzzles to solve. So yeah, you're unraveling just a giant mystery and just trying to break this time loop that you're in as you're going from cycle to cycle. Yeah, but Echo Weaver is set to be a really fun Metroidvania. No release date on this one yet, but the demo is available if you do want to play Echo Weaver. Very fun Metroidvania. Check it out if you are interested. I had to save my favorite genre for last. That's action roguelikes. You can't keep me away from a good action roguelike. And the first game I want to talk about, which I actually didn't get a chance to play, is 13Z The Zodiac Trials. Go solo or team up with up to 3 friends in an online co-op or for this fast-paced anime-inspired action roguelike. Master stylish hack and slash combat, craft overpowered builds, and conquer mythological trials to claim the title of the 13th Zodiac. It's Hades with Zodiacs. We already have a game kind of like that in Astral Ascent, where you are using different characters to fight Zodiacs, so there is that as well, but this is more East Asian inspired. It has an anime vibes, but it's also more 3D, as Astral Ascent is more 2D, but the Zodiac vibe is there as well. But yeah, this is a fun looking game. I'm so bummed that I didn't get to try it, but I kind of have a feeling that I know exactly what I'm getting into, because you are just have a number of different characters, a number of different abilities, going through different runs, fighting in these trials and gaining experience and gaining meta progression as you go. So yeah, it's nothing new under the sun, but I always am interested to see what the different takes are, the different art styles and the different abilities that you have in games like these. So yeah, I can't wait to check out 13Z The Zodiac Trials when it drops sometime in Q4 of 2026. So sometime later on the year. I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe November, December, maybe sometime in September, maybe not September, because that's gonna everything's coming out, but at some point later on down the road when I have more time to free up. The demo is actually not available anymore, so kind of bummed about that. But if you wanted to wishlist that, check out 13Z The Zodiac Trials. Tribe Quest is a little bit more subdued in terms of action roguelikes, but I wanted to check it out nonetheless. Interesting game. So fight, craft, and survive. Swap between characters in your party as you navigate procedurally generated levels and complete quests. Rebuild your home from the rubble and hunt the warlord who destroyed it. So yeah, this is an interesting game. It's a kind of cutout paper art style, so not heavily art stylized. There's not even any music in this demo, which is kind of a criticism. I wish there was some music. It was very quiet as I was playing the demo for this game, but essentially you have a number of different characters to choose from, and you go on quest, and you have a number of different biomes that you can go to collect resources, hunt animals, and to fight off enemies and collect more characters. Later on, you can level up your main characters, you can cook, you have to manage stamina, you have to manage a lot of resources. So it's a little bit more survival based in the action roguelike sense, but there is the action roguelike where you actually have the different runs and you're gaining knowledge to gain different skills like building weapons, building technology, building up your structures and all that. So yeah, it's a lot going on in Tribe Quest. Very fun. Again, very subdued, not a whole lot going on there, but I actually had more fun than I thought I was going to have in this game. But yeah, if you want to play the demo, it's available right now for you, and no announcement date on Tribe Quest. But if you are someone who is into the action roguelike genre but wants to get more into like more survival and crafting and exploration elements, check out Tribe Quest. It's very interesting. I would highly recommend you just give this one a shot to see if this is your flavor. Yeah, that's Tribe Quest. And rounding out this list is 33 Immortals, which actually had its Steam release on June the 10th. So this has been out for a while, and even it was out for a longer while if you had the Epic Game Store. But yeah, 33 Immortals is a game I've been waiting for it to come to Steam, and it is out right now. It is a co-op action roguelike for up to 33 players. Jump straight in the run, solo or with friends, battle hordes of monsters, defeat massive bosses, and grow stronger each run. Use in-game emotes to coordinate and combine powers with your fellow rebels and face the wrath of God together. This is an MMO action roguelike. This is a lot of fun. I haven't done too much in this game so far. I'm definitely going to play it more in August when I get through some of the other roguelikes that I'm playing. But yeah, this is a fun game. I've only made it through the like a little bit of the tutorial sections and maybe done run or so. But yeah, 33 Immortals, you have a number of different characters to choose from, only 4 characters to choose from, and then you go and you complete different quests, feeding enemies, collecting bones to heal yourself, collecting currencies, and then going through the chambers to defeat the different bosses and to ascend all the way up and to fight as many bosses as you can, grow stronger along the way, use your co-op abilities to help your friends. I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't heard of 33 Immortals already. Yeah, it's actually doing pretty well so far on Steam. If you want to play the demo is still available, but the game itself is actually not terribly expensive. It's about 15 bucks on Steam. So yeah, check out 33 Immortals if you are into the action roguelike genre but you want to do it on a massive scale with a bunch of people online. That is 33 Immortals. Very fun action roguelike. I'm gonna continue to play it, and I'll probably talk about it at a later date. So like I said with the first part, if there is a game that you liked in any one of these genres, I would love to know down in the comments. That's every game or every demo I tried to check out during Steam Next Fest. Very demoed out, and I always get a little bit more ambitious than I expect when it comes to Steam Next Fest, because I want to cover as many demos as I can for this channel to be able to curate as many games as I can for you, the audience, if you're someone who's interested in any one of these games, to curate some of the games that I find interesting into some games that you may find interesting as well. So yeah, if there's any game that stuck out to you, let me know that in the comments, or if you want to see anything that I've done in the past, like my part 1 video or any videos that I have coming out. I have other games that I'm playing that will be coming out. July is going to be stacked more with indie games. There's a lot more coming out in the next couple of weeks. We got more coming out in August, more coming out in September. The gaming, it never stops. We are eating good as gamers, and we are still in hot gamer summer. So yeah, be sure to check that out on the channel. And thank you again so much for watching. My name is Chike. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.